freehand method on how to cut and sew this trending jacket in less than 10 minutes. Yes, it's a cutting and sewing video. I'm using this crepe fabric. It's the same crepe I use for this trouser. I'm kind of making a top for it, but most of the time I end up wearing it with my brown trouser as I consider this combination very cool. I placed my fabric on two fold and this is for the back part. Next, you will draw a line that is 2 inches wide. My meter rule is already 2 inches wide. That is why I did not bother measuring anymore. As we proceed, you will see the essence of this line in the video. All my measurements will start below this line. On this line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2 and my sleeve length, or you can measure your shoulder and sleeve measurement like this. You come down from this line by 1 inch and you are going to mark your neck width. I'm using a basic neckline of 3 inches wide, and as you can see, I extended it into our 2 inches width. Connect from the neck width to the 1 inch mark with a slanted line like this. Next, you are going to measure how wide you want your sleeve to be. You can do your basics round sleeve divided by 2 plus extra 2 inches or more, depending on how wide you want it to be. Placing your tape on the straight line and not on the slanted line, mark out your bust point, your waistline, and you come down from your waistline by 9 inches for your hip line, okay? So I'm going to insert my bust measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches. You can add 1.5 inches or you can add 1 inch at least. This would give your jacket a bit of ease. Waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch. On the hip line, hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. I'm going to connect these points together with my rule like this, and you should blend the waist part so it is not too sharp. I used my bust point, which is 10, as my round sleeve, and you can see the way I blended it to the sleeve point. So I'm going to come down from my waistline by 5 inches. This would be the length of my top because the top does not get to your hip line. I'll connect this together like this, and this will be my top length. Next, I'm going to be adding 1 inch for my sewing allowance. The first thing we added was for ease in the jacket because the jacket is not a bodycon jacket. I also added 1 inch on the hem. So I'll go ahead to cut this out as shown. Now on this part, following the slanted line, I'm going to measure and mark out 1.5 inches upwards. I'm using a different chalk so that it would not be confusing. Connect this together like this and you go ahead to cut it out as you see me do. Next, I'm going to place it on fold to meet the other slanted line, and I pinned it down. I'll transfer my neck width to the top of the fold, and I'm going to make a neckline curve like so. And this will be for our back neckline. Now, if you want to cut this, you are cutting out the fold only. You are not cutting the main fabric underneath the fold. So you should be careful because if you cut the both of them, it is over. You have to start again. So you see what I'm doing? This will be for the back neckline. This will prevent your jacket from falling backwards, backwards, and backwards. This is it for the back part. We are going to be using this to cut out the front part. So I'm going to go ahead to take out the fabric for the front part and place it on fold. The fabric for the front part should be at least 4 inches wider than the back because you need extra allowance for your button overlap. Place your tape on your actual length, not the allowance, and I'll come down by 5 inches from that line. Connect it with a straight line. I'm going to cut this out. Next, I'm going to mark out my button allowance just on this point, and on the side, I'm going to mark out my side allowance. Get the midpoint without including the allowance. Mark it at the down part and at the up part. Connect these 2 points with a straight line. I won't want the allowance interfering with the front part. So I'm going to place that allowance on fold and extend my center line like this. Next, I'm going to slant it to the side allowance and also slant it to the button allowance as shown. So I'll go ahead to cut this out like this. And next, we are going to be working with the shoulder part. First, I'll go ahead to cut this out following the shoulder slant of the back part. Mark out the neck width on the front part as well. Put aside the back piece. Next, you are going to come down from the neck width by 1 inch and also on the sleeve part. Connect this with a slanted line and I'll go ahead to cut this out. Next, I'll go ahead to mark out my desired neck depth. Connect it to the neck width with a slanted line and I'll go ahead to cut it out. Now this is all for the front and the back part. Now the essence of this extra is to bring it down so that your jacket does not keep falling to the back. So this is what we have for the back part. I'm going to cut lining for this, and this is what we have for the front part. I will also be cutting lining for this. I'll be showing you how you can achieve a perfect lining without having problem of excesses coming out at the side. I've gone ahead to sew this, and if you notice my lining is excess. I normally cut my lining excess whenever I'm working with a very light lining. Now, I also went ahead to iron and pin this down. What I normally do when I'm working with a light lining is this. After cutting it excess, I sew the down part and I pin it all around after ironing. Then I can go ahead to cut out the excess. This would give me the accurate lining without having any shortage or excess. After that, I'll go ahead to unpin this. Okay, so what I did before was very simple. I went ahead to just join lining and fabric together at the down, and remember our hemming allowance. That's what I ironed in like this. I'll flip this up, right side facing right side, and I'm going to what? Pin it down because like I said, I'm working with a light material. Next, I'm going to be turning the neckline, the sleeve. Turning the side is really optional. You can turn it or you can overlock it. I've done the same thing for the front pieces. You can see that my lining is SS, and you also notice that I have turned the down part of the front part. Cut out the excess and turn the sleeve, the neckline and the button side. Do the same thing for the second part of the front part, and remember while you are sewing this down, make sure you are stitching it with a line of hemming gum, especially if you are working with a light lining. You can ignore this if you are not working with a light lining. Flip it to the right side and iron carefully, and this is what it looks like, very smooth and relaxed. Iron carefully to avoid rumples that stick. This is the neckline. I have turned it in. I didn't turn in the shoulder. This is the sleeve part, turned in and ironed. Turning the side is not compulsory, but I wanted to show you what happens if you turn without hemming gum, especially when you are using a light lining. The lining keeps peeping out on the edge like this. This can make your outfit look unprofessional. After sewing it, you go ahead to shape it right side facing right side. Bye.